NESN's exclusive coverage of Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Chevy Dealers of New England. Start where more people end up. By your neighborhood Speedy Muffler King, where you'll never pay more than the original estimate. Sponsored by New Advanced Formula Mobile One. And by your local Sherwin-Williams paint stores. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams, a participating sponsor of Major League Baseball.
First base, Ken Kaiser. Second base, Mark Johnson. And third base.
Yeah, welcome back, everyone. Kingdome, Seattle, Washington. Rubber game of this three-game series between the Boston Red Sox and the Seattle Mariners. The Sox winning out here on Tuesday, 5-2. Roger Clemens picking up his third win of the year. Jeff Russell picking up a save in that ball game as the Sox ran their record to 11-3. Last night, it was the Randy Johnson show. A complete game shutout. First time the Sox shut out this year as they drop a 5-0 decision to Seattle. Johnson the winner. He's 2-1. Danny Darwin takes the loss. He's 0-3. Butch Hobson out there shaking hands with Seattle's third base coach Sam Perlazzo as they exchange the lineup card. We'll take a peek and see what Butch's lineup looks like tonight. Ernest Riles will lead it off for the Red Sox. He will be at second base. Riles gets the start tonight for Boston at second. Carlos Quintana bats in the number 2 spot. McHugh is back out in right field tonight. Mike Greenwell hitting third and playing left. Then it'll be Andre Dawson in the cleanup slot. For the 10th straight game, he is the designated hitter. Dawson, the DH. Mo Vaughn will bat number 5. Mo back in the lineup tonight playing at first base. Ivan Calderon hits in the number 6 position. He will get the start in center field. Scott Cooper bats number 7. He is the third baseman. Then John Valentin hits in the 8th slot. He's at shortstop, and Tony Pena will be batting number 9 and doing the catching. As far as the umpires go tonight, Vic Voltaggio will be calling the balls and strikes behind the plate. Kenny Kaiser works at first base. Mark Johnson at second, and last night's plate umpire, Jim McKean, takes his spot at third.
Seattle Mariners are the best defensive club in the league to this point of the season. 3 errors they've made in 14 games. Tonight they'll have Mike Flowers at third base, Omar Vizquel the shortstop, Brett Boone at second, and Tino Martinez at first base. Left to right, Mike Felder, Ken Griffey Jr., Jay Buhner, and Dave Valley behind the plate. On the mound, right-hander Chris Bosio. Still looking for his first win as a member of the Seattle Mariners. No wins and 1 loss, 4.58 ERA. This will be his 4th start of the season. 21 hits allowed in 19 2/3 innings. He's only walked 6, has excellent control. 21 strikeouts puts him second in the league to Randy Johnson, who has 37. Clemens is third in that category with 20 strikeouts. Last time out, a no decision against the Detroit Tigers. That's a game the Tigers won 8-7. 6 innings in that ball game, 10 hits and 6 runs, and he's working tonight on 3 days rest. Lou Piniella wanted to break up all the left-handers he had in the starting rotation, get Bosio in there, and he struggled some in his career working on 3 days rest.
So we'll see how he fares against the Red Sox tonight. You mentioned his last start at Tiger Stadium in Detroit on Sunday. He had a career-high 12 strikeouts in that ball game. And he's catching the strikeout disease from Randy Johnson. But Bosio on 3 days rest, going against Joe Hesketh and the Boston Red Sox tonight here at the Kingdome. Rubber game of this 3-game series. Ernest Riles, Carlos Quintana, and Mike Greenwell coming up for Boston here in the top of the first. 1 ball to no strikes. The count on Riles. Riles got an inning at third base in defensive purposes last night. That's in for a called strike. It's all even now on Riles at a ball and a strike. Ernie hitting a 200 on the year. No homers and no runs batted in. We'll send this one foul down the left field line. A ball and 2 strikes to count on Riles.
Bosio works very quickly. Will keep his infielders and outfielders on their toes all night. Very good control. Very seldom walks anybody in a ball game. Mixes his pitches up. 2 different types of fastballs, curve, slider, change, split finger.
We will see it all, huh? Riles sees here on 1-2. It's down low. Down even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Hobson wanting to getting another left-handed bat in the lineup tonight against Bosio. That's the reason Riles will get the start at second base.
Scott Fletcher still on the sidelines day to day. Tried to run in the outfield before the game and really was only able to go about a quarter speed, and said that he is still feeling pain in that pulled right hamstring that he suffered on the Patriots Day game in the 2nd inning at Fenway Park. Trying to avoid a collision out in right field. 3 balls and 2 strikes, the count on Riles. Bosio, who doesn't walk anybody, walks Riles and skips away from Valley. Now Riles will round first.
Well, maybe this is going to work in reverse tonight. Last night we talked about Randy Johnson, who often struggles with his control. No problems last night against Red Sox hitters. Now the guy that has the great control walks the leadoff man. Riles, realizing that ball bounced away, was going hard to first base and rounded, but no chance to go to second. Lou Piniella.
3 years managing with the Yankees, 3 years managing with the Reds. Carlos Quintana will be the hitter for the Red Sox. He's glad to see Randy Johnson in the dugout. The Q was 1 for 4 against the big left-hander last night, but struck out 3 times. No strikes to count to Quintana. Carlos hitting at .432 on the year. No home runs for the Q. 3 runs batted in.
Bosio, the type of pitcher you want to get some movement from your base runners. He throws a lot of ground balls and gets a lot of double plays.
Sent foul by the Q. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Pretty good series for Quintana until last night. Had 3 hits and 3 at-bats. Drove in a run in the series opener on Tuesday night in a game won by the Red Sox 5-2. Like the rest of the Red Sox hitters, had his problems with Randy Johnson last night. Quintana and Greenwell, I think, in particular. 1-1 from Bosio. And the count on the Q now 2 balls and 1 strike. Bosio, 30 years old. Born in Carmichael, California, signed as a free agent here. He is now in the first year of a 4-year contract. And is having control problems here in the first inning. 3 balls and a strike to count on Quintana.
You know, we've been told that a lot of pitchers have been complaining about the mound here at Seattle, and I wonder if it has something to do with Bosio's slow start in this ballgame. You see him doing some work on the spot where he lands.
Worked here once. That was back on the 2nd game of the season against the Toronto Blue Jays, losing that game 2-0. And he's walked the first 2 hitters. First Riles and now Carlos Quintana. So he's walked now more in the first 2 hitters of the ball game than Randy Johnson walked last night in 9 innings.
Last year, only 44 walks on the season for Bosio, and that was in 231 in a 3rd inning. So when we come into a game and advertise that he has great control, the numbers certainly back that up. Sammy Ellis, the pitching coach, out to have a conversation now with Bosio.
Well, you mentioned that he had problems on 3 days rest, and checking the press notes, it says in the 3 games last year that he worked on 3 days rest, he was 0-3. I'm sorry, he was 1-2 with a 5.12 ERA. Over the last 5 years, 2-5 with an earned run average over 4 when working on 3 days rest. Worked Sunday in Detroit, threw a lot of pitches, but is certainly in difficulty here with Riles at second, Quintana at first, and Mike Greenwell the hitter. After the first pitch, could be 2. Boone flipping to Vizquel, back to Martinez. Change the complexion in a hurry.
Now that's what he's able to do. We mentioned when he gets base runners, he's able to get a lot of ground ball outs. Turn the fastball over that time away from Greenwell, who still tried to pull it, and the result will be the nice routine double play. Boone to Vizquel and across to Tino Martinez.
Riles takes 3rd on the play. He's there with 2 outs, and that'll leave it up to the designated hitter, Andre Dawson. Looking for his first hit of the series. 0 for 4 last night against the left-hander Johnson. When 0 for 2 knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly on Tuesday. 1 strike to count on Dawson. Checks in at .275 on the year. 1 home run. That's his 400th of his career. And 10 runs batted in. 0-2 the count on Dawson. He dominated the Red Sox last night. Sox shut out for the first time last year. Johnson giving him just 4 hits, striking out 7 and walking just 1. 0-2 from Bosio. And ring up the Hawk. Sox threaten but do not score in the top half of the first inning. Boston scoreless, Seattle coming up.
Come on, let's get a cold one.
Our total attendance for today's game.
Would you look at this beer line? I'm going to go back. What? Foul ball? No, I'm not. Foul ball!
Foul ball? Halfway!
I got it!
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down,
Make it 2 Bud Lights, please.
make it a Bud Light.
Hey, you got another ball?
Toyota's big weekend is here, and this could be more money than you'll need to drive home a new Toyota. Because right now, you can choose any new Toyota with no money down and make no payments for 90 days. Get a Sporty for sale with the highest resale value of any car in its class and priced from under $12,000. Or make your best deal on a new Toyota Celica and get real Toyota value and dependability with low repair costs. Plus, special financing makes Celica an even better value. It doesn't take a lot to drive a new Toyota, so see your New England Toyota dealer now.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Kingdome. The Seattle Mariners 6 wins, 8 losses on the year. They're in 5th place in the American League West, trailing the front-running California Angels by 3. Lou Pinella's lineup card looks like this tonight. Mike Felder leads things off. He is in left field. Henry Cotto in the lineup as the designated hitter, batting number 2. Ken Griffey Jr. bats 3rd. He's in center field. Jay Buhner, the cleanup hitter, in right. Brett Boone gets the start tonight at second base. Martinez will bat him the number 6 spot and play first. Mike Flowers is the 3rd baseman. He'll hit 7th. Dave Valley will do the catching again. He's the 8th hitter. And Omar Vizquel, number 9, shortstop.
Red Sox are 3rd in the league in defense, 8 errors in 15 games. Scott Cooper will be at 3rd base. John Valentin, the shortstop. Ernest Riles at 2nd and Mulvon at 1st. Left to right, Mike Greenwell, Ivan Calderon, Carlos Quintana. Tony Pena gets the side behind the plate, and on the mound, Joe Hesketh. Hesketh, 2 wins and no losses, 1 win in relief, and a win last time out against Chicago. We talked about in the open. 8 innings of that ball game, 3 hits, no runs, 6 walks, and 5 strikeouts through 119 pitches in the 8 innings of work.
34-year-old left-hander out of Lackawanna, New York. 1 ball and no strikes. The count on Mike Felder, who led off 2 games last year for the San Francisco Giants by hitting the first pitch out of the ballpark. 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Felder. Felder hitting a .261 on the year, has 1 homer and 4 runs batted in. 1-1 from Hesketh. 1-2 now on Felder. 2 wins, no losses, 3.48 ERA for Joe Hesketh. Now makes his home in Palm Harbor, Florida. Felder even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You mentioned this Mariner club struggling some against left-handed pitching, only 1-4 against left-handed starters to this point in the season.
Out on Felder will go full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mariners trying to put together 2 straight wins for the first time in this young '93 campaign. Again, they've won 6, they've lost 8. They sit 5th. American League West, 3 games behind the surprising front-running California Angels. The Red Sox will see tomorrow night in Anaheim. 3-2 pitch from Hesketh. And he walks the leadoff man. Oh, those bases on balls.
Well, both pitchers having a difficult time in the first inning with the walks. Bosio uncharacteristically walking a couple of Red Sox hitters, got the big help with the double play. Now Hesketh walking the leadoff hitter.
He walked, as Jerry mentioned, 6 his last start against Chicago. 4 walks in the first 2 innings. Walked 6 in the first 4, and then retired 11 of the last 12 men he faced. Joe was helped in that ball game by a couple of double play balls, and helped hugely by the fact he was able to get Frank Thomas twice on strikes. Here's Henry Cotto, the designated hitter. 1 ball, no strikes to count on Cotto, hitting at .095 on the year. Cotto, no homers and no runs batted in. Cotto with just 2 hits so far in 21 times at bat.
Idea to throw over because Felder trying to get himself a walking lead against Hesketh. Felder has 3 stolen bases on the season, been caught 1 time.
Mariners as a team have 11 steals in 20 attempts. Kenny Kaiser there, the first base umpire behind Felder. Hesketh gets a called strike. Quiet tonight here in the Kingdom. They had 28,000 and change out here Tuesday. 13,000 plus last night. Looks like we're at about the 15,000 vicinity tonight, but a very, very quiet crowd. Hesketh 8-9 for the Sox last year with a 4.36 ERA. Won a game last year in relief, 7-9 as a starter, including wins his last 2 timeouts. Beat Baltimore on the 27th of September, subbing for Roger Clemens, and won 5 innings to beat the Yankees on October the 4th. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count on Henry Cotto. Cotto has not had great success against Hesketh in his career, with just 1 base hit in 13 times at bat.
Very tough, though, against left-handed pitchers last season with a .321 average against lefties.
Felder grounds it foul at the plate, so the count remains a ball and 2 strikes.
Mentioned one advantage you get with the left-handed pitching. You get Pete O'Brien out of the lineup, who's been just a little bit warm for the Seattle ball club, and you hope to be able to neutralize Griffey,
who has been absolutely on a tear, hitting 2 home runs against the Red Sox out here last night. 1-2 pitch. Cotto sends it in the air to right field. Carlos Quintana goes back, sort of circled the wagons on that one, made the catch, and there's 1 gone.
And Q almost read that wrong out in right field. He started to come in on it, and the ball was quite a bit over his head. Backtracked, he was able to make the play. That's Quintana's route. He starts to come in. Now all of a sudden, we know it's not the wind that was blowing it back in that direction.
So here is Ken Griffey Jr. 2 home runs last night, already his second 2 home run game this season, 7th of his career. Also had 2 home runs Monday at Detroit of Tiger pitcher Doherty. Drives it to left field. Greenwell is there, makes the catch.
Saw the home run that Griffey hit last night to the opposite field. They say recently he's been using the whole ballpark. Left field, center field, and of course pulling the ball. I guess early in the season when he was struggling, he was trying to pull everything.
So Felder, who had a leadoff walk, is still at first with now 2 outs. Right fielder Jay Buhner will be the batter. He had a couple of base hits and 4 at bats last night. Has gone 3 for 6 plus a couple of walks in the series. Strikes to count on Buhner, who he has hit safely in his last 6 ball games. Bringing the bat pretty good. 10 hits his last 20 times up. That includes a homer and 3 RBIs. Felder off of first. Sox and Mariners scoreless. M's bat here, bottom half of inning number 1. And missed by Buhner, evens the count at a ball and a strike.
Hesketh has got Felder a bit confused over at first base. That time he was heading back to the bag when Hesketh was coming home with the pitch. I think if he decides to steal, he's just going to guess. As soon as the first move is made by Joe, probably going to take off for second base.
Hesketh after his 3rd win of the year. 1 win so far in relief, 1 as a starter. That came last Saturday against the White Sox at Fenway Park. Runner goes, 1-1 pitch, no chance for Pena. Felder got a terrific jump that time off of Hesketh.
Now watch what Felder does at first base. He's leaning back toward the bag, acting like he's not going to go anywhere, and as soon as Joe made the first move, he takes off. If you can't pick up the move, that's what you got to do. No chance at all. Pena doesn't even throw the ball to second base, as the great jump by Tiny Felder gives him his 4th stolen base on the season.
And it counted 2 balls and 1 strike on Buhner. 2-2 on Buhner. Buhner coming into the ball game hitting .353 on the year. A couple of home runs for Jay and 9 runs batted in. Mariners as a team have hit 16 home runs so far this season. Strike 3. Buhner is called out on strikes to end the first. So for the Mariners in the first inning, no runs on no hits. No Red Sox errors. 1 man left. We're scoreless after 1.
Non, 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 non. Je cherche quelque chose de magnifique, d'incroyable, de merveilleux. How about this one? Mais non, petit idiot. Je veux qu'elle soit belle et élégante et gaie. What about this one? Oh non, non, non. Mais vous ne comprenez rien? Êtes-vous sourd à la fin? J'exige quelque chose de parfait.
Successful caterers know which service to pick.
Yeah, now you're talking. Why didn't you show me that one in the first place?
Cellular One. It's the one for business. Any business.
Breakthroughs in technology have made it possible for automotive designers to create for the driver one of the safest environments ever. At Eagle, we've taken that technology and moved it a little to the right. Introducing Vision from Eagle with standard drivers and passenger side airbags. See one today at your Jeep and Eagle dealer.
See your New England Jeep and Eagle dealer and test drive Eagle Vision.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and me. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Beer.
Here's the Harvard Community Health Plan top 5 in home runs. First, the American League. Albert Bell, Ken Griffey Jr., and Dean Palmer all tied with 6. And Gonzalez and Deere with 5. J.T. Snow with 4 for the Angels. In a minute, we'll get to the National League. National League, we have John Kruk leading with 5 home runs of the Phillies. And Gonzalez has 4, Sheffield 4, Williams 4, and Bonds has 4.
Mo Vaughn leading off for the Red Sox here in the second inning. Vaughn so far with 2 home runs this year to go with his 12 runs batted in and lofty .412 batting average. Second best in the American League behind Tony Phillips of the Tigers. Mo coming up empty with that swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on Vaughn. Mo Vaughn followed by Ivan Calderon and Scott Cooper. Red Sox bat here top half the second against Chris Bosio. 2-2 to Mo. Vaughn 2 for 9 against Bosio in his career. And will go down swinging here.
Well, ever since Bosio got the ground ball from Greenwell for the double play, he's settled down nicely, striking out Dawson on breaking ball, and now another breaking ball right here to Mo Vaughn. Backswing from Vaughn. Looks like it's going to get Valley right off the back of the helmet.
One gone. Here's Ivan Calderon. Former Mariner looks at ball 1. Ivan getting the call in right field last night, playing center field this evening. Bosio to Martinez. 2 up and 2 gone for the Red Sox here in the second.
The reason that Calderon in the lineup tonight against Bosio, he came in tonight's action with a .429 batting average against the right-hander, because those are the days when he faced them with the Chicago White Sox.
2 going for the Sox. Base is empty here at the top of the second of his scoreless ball game, and here's Scott Cooper. Cooper coming in with a .351 average, 1 homer for Scott, and 14 runs batted in. Bosio working free and easy now. 0-2 the count on Cooper.
Getting ahead of the Red Sox hitters, and like he normally does, working the corners.
It's strange. Walked Riles, walked Quintana, got the double play ball, and since then struck out Dawson to end the first, struck out Vaughn, got Calderon to bounce it back, and now gets Cooper to roll to first. Martinez unassisted, Red Sox in order, and we're scoreless after an inning and a half.
It's the most exciting time in the sports year, and NESN Sports Desk, the morning edition, will be there for all the action as the Bees make their drive for Lord Stanley's Cup. The Bees aren't the only Boston team in search of a championship. The Celtics are ready to go for their 17th flag. And if that's not enough, how about those Sawx? We'll show you all the hard-hitting thrills as they look to continue their early season success. You'll get it all when you tune in every weekday morning, anytime between 5 and 9.
Before you go to Midas for a muffler or for brakes, stop and think about this. Hundreds of people with Midas guarantees didn't go back to Midas for service. They switched to Speedy to replace Midas guaranteed parts. Now consider this. At Speedy, we always show you what needs to be fixed and what we fixed. And we always beat any Midas estimate. Now, wouldn't you rather stop at Speedy in the first place? Call us on it.
Business out of town? Fly Business Express, the Delta Connection. Our schedules fit your schedule with nearly 600 flights a day to more than 30 cities. And our new jets have the best seats in the sky. Enjoy easy connections with Delta Airlines. And Delta frequent flyers earn a minimum of 1,000 miles with every flight. Complimentary snack and beverage service, too, on all cabin class flights. From Boston or Manchester, fly Business Express, the Delta Connection. Consult your travel agent or call Business Express.
Scoreless ball game. The Red Sox and the Seattle Mariners. M's come to bat here. Bottom half of the second inning. The rookie Brett Boone, the second baseman, followed by Tino Martinez and Mike Flowers. Off the mask of Pena. 1 strike to count to Boone. 24 years old, out of the University of Southern California. As you know, he's a third-generation player. Grandfather Ray is a scout for the Red Sox. Father Bob, former Major League catcher, now manages Tacoma in AAA. Base hit for Boone.
Boone was taught a lesson by Lou Piniella in spring training. He was telling me yesterday that there's a particular game they were playing, and it called for Boone to move the runner over to third base. Well, instead, Boone hit a line shot at the third baseman, and was upset the fact that he made it out. And Piniella took him out of the game. He said, "That's not the way we're going to play it around here. We're going to play to win. If your job's to move the guy over, do it."
Job in this case was to get on base, and he did. Leadoff single for Boone. Get the Mariners started here in the second. Tino Martinez, the first baseman, will be the batter. 1 ball, no strikes to count on Martinez, hitting just .137 this year with 3 homers and 7 runs batted in. Martinez so far with 7 hits and 51 times at bat. Had fouled him back at the plate. Pena comes over. Also Vaughn over for a look. Winds up back behind the dugout. And the count even now at a ball and a strike on Martinez. Tony Pena back behind the plate tonight after Bob Melvin caught for the Red Sox last night. Pena and the rest of the Sox will be heading to Anaheim after the ball game tonight. Tomorrow night it's Frank Viola against Mark Langston. Saturday John Dobson and Scott Lewis. And then Sunday Roger Clemens and Scott Sanderson. 3-game series against the Angels. The Yankees move in here to the Kingdom to take on the Mariners.
Asked Clemens this afternoon how his elbow felt. He said much better today, so that's certainly good news for the Red Sox.
Hesketh again over to first.
Boone, as opposed to Felder, he's leaning toward second base. Tiny Felder was leaning back toward the bag, then stole. Now Boone is leaning toward second. Maybe he's not going anywhere.
Martinez will send it foul down the first baseline. A ball and 2 strikes now on Tino Martinez.
I want to watch that at first base because maybe if he leans back toward the bag, that may be a sign that he's going.
Martinez in a slump, 2 hits in his last 26 times at bat. Did have a home run. Martinez did the other day in Detroit. That was on Monday. That was his 3rd of the year. Mariners actually have hit 10 home runs now in the last 4 days. Martinez, little pop foul. After it goes Scott Cooper, can't come up with it. Very similar to a play last night. Amaral, the third baseman of Seattle, going over.
Not much you can say about that. It just shakes his head and let's go try it again. Certainly plenty of room for Cooper to make the play on this foul ball. Not yet close to the warning track or the fence. Took his eye off for a second, just dropped right out of the glove.
Should be scored an error. Nothing doing as far as an error goes up on the scoreboard yet. It is a ball and 2 strikes. The count on Martinez. 1-2 from Hesketh. Past the glove of Riles on into right field. Quintana comes up throwing. And holding at second base will be Brett Boone. Well, the error by Cooper, although they haven't given him one on the scoreboard yet, cost the Sox because the Mariners now have runners at first and second with nobody out.
Where the artificial surface becomes a big help to a hitter. That ball down and away, tops it, and quickly it gets by Riles at second base. He's moved in into double play depth, and it quickly gets by him on this very quick surface.
Apparently on that play involving Cooper at third, there'll just be no play on it. So Boone off for second, Martinez off for first. Mike Blowers playing for the first time in this series as the hitter. One ball and no strikes to count on Blowers. Brett Boone at second base. And of course Tino Martinez over at first. Nobody out as the Mariners bat here bottom of the second. Blowers getting his 3rd start of the season at third base. He was a Pacific Coast League All-Star at that position last year.
Red Sox had put the rotation play on, and they want to fake a throw to second base to see if Blowers was going to get into a bunt situation. Didn't give it away that time. Kind of helps the manager make a decision on what bunt play he wants to go with. Still unsure. I think you got to go with just the regular bunt play.
Runners go. Blowers swings away. Base hit center field. Rounding third. Heading home is Boone. Mariners will take a 1-0 lead on the RBI single by Blowers. Martinez to third.
Put the bunt out in the first pitch, you get a ball. Now it's 1-0. Go ahead, swing away, says Lou Piniella, and right back up the middle goes Blowers. Guys off with the pitch, a hit and run with men on first and second, and the Mariners jump on top 1-0. Brett Boone coming around with that first run.
A 1-0 lead for the Mariners. First and third, still nobody out. Dave Valley, the catcher, the hitter. One ball, no strikes to Valley, who's 0 for 5 in the series, but has hit very well in his career against Heskett. Has 8 times at bat, which is not a whole lot, but does have 5 hits, including a home run. Valley so far this year hitting .289 on the year with 1 homer and 6 runs batted in. Mariners leading the Red Sox 1-0 here, bottom half of inning number 2. Third goes Martinez. In for a called strike to Valley, evening the count at 1-1.
Red Sox playing back at second and short, also at third, trying to get a double play to get a couple of outs. They'll give up that 1 extra run to get 2 outs in this inning and try to stay away from a very big inning.
1-1 now from Heskett. Might be the double play. Over to Riles for 1. Had difficulty getting it out of his glove and a bad throw. And Vaughn doesn't come up with it at first base. And the Mariners get a run. Martinez in to score. It's 2-0 Seattle. So the Sox have hurt themselves defensively here in the second inning. Although Cooper wasn't charged with an error, that little pop foul by Martinez, he winds up coming in to score. And a bad throw here by Ernest Riles.
Inexperience here on part of Ernest Riles at second base. Had plenty of time to turn it over, just threw it right down into the dirt. Mo Vaughn can't come up with the pick at first base, and Red Sox do not get the double play.
Again, Riles won't be charged with an error on the play because you don't assume a double play. That's one of those that won't show up in the scorebook, much like Cooper's, but it has hurt the Red Sox here in the second. 1 ball and no strikes to count on Vizquel.
And the longer and longer that Fletcher is not in the lineup for the Red Sox, it's going to show up at second base because you got 2 guys playing that position right now with very, very little experience, almost none.
A guy with some experience, Jeff Richardson at second base, but he was sent down to Pawtucket, where he made his debut for the Paw Sox today. Sox electing to keep the left-handed bat. Riles. Pitch to Omar Vizquel is up and in. 2 balls and no strikes to count on Vizquel. 1 for 4 last night after an 0 for 3 performance on Tuesday. Vizquel was the leadoff hitter in the first 2 games of his series. Now finds himself batting him a number 9 position. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Seattle. The Mariners lead the Sox 2-0 here in the bottom of the second. Alderaan in center. And 2 gone.
Left fielder, number 25, Mike Felder.
Heskett now 1 out away from getting out of here in the second inning. M's have plated a pair. Back to the top of the order we go, and Mike Felder, who walked to start the ball game for Seattle, then stole second. Butch Hobson. Not used to really seeing his team play defense like it has here in the second inning, because the Sox generally have played sharp defense this year. 1 ball and no strikes to count on Felder. Fly ball center field. Greenwell there. Backs up a couple of steps, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. But the Mariners get 2 runs in the inning. On 3 hits, the Sox are not charged with any errors. And the Mariners leave 1 aboard and lead 2-0 after 2.
Get ready for the 1993 Red Sox. This season promises to be action-packed as 8-time National League All-Star Andre Dawson leads the Red Sox newcomers to battle against their American League opponents. To order your tickets, phone the Red Sox ticket office at 617-267-1700 or visit the Red Sox ticket office at Fenway Park or the clubhouse shop at the Burlington Mall.
What's that?
It's a consumer survey.
They want to know if you're happy with your car.
Oh, I am.
Oh, I know. And as of last night, so does everybody at the Martins' dinner party.
In its first year, the all-new Toyota Camry moved thousands to appreciate that a car could be everything you want and even more than you imagined.
You gave 2 complete strangers a 20-minute test drive.
15. I was 15.
The 1993 Toyota Camry. Few cars actually move you. This is one.
You've seen it before. The ones who run with the herd, and the one who always seems to run alone. You don't see him often enough, though.
Head for the mountains of bush.
To commemorate the grand opening of the Boston Red Sox clubhouse shop at the Emerald Square Mall in North Attleboro, Red Sox pitcher Paul Quantrill will be on hand to meet with fans on Saturday, May 1st from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Don't miss this opportunity to meet one of your favorite Sox players and shop for all your Major League apparel and souvenirs. Tickets can also be purchased at the clubhouse shop.
Well, Red Sox come to bat here, top half of inning number 3 with some work to do now as they trail Chris Bosio and the Seattle Mariners by a score of 2-0. John Valentin to lead it off, followed by Tony Pena, and then to the top of the order in Ernest Riles. Valentin back, getting his 3rd straight start at shortstop after rejoining the club after rehabbing at Pawtucket over the weekend. And a pretty good start to the season for Valentin. Had a home run in his first ball game as a member of the Paw Sox, and a home run for the Red Sox here. First game for the big club on Tuesday night. Trails quickly in the count to Bosio, 0-2. Boy, Bosio struggled for the first 2 hitters of the ball game, and since then he's been unbelievable. He's had the Sox pretty much waving at things. This is inside to Valentin, a ball and 2 strikes. Greenwell hit into a double play. Dawson struck out. That ended the first inning. Struck out Vaughn in the second, then got 2 weak rounders, Calderon and Cooper, to end the inning. And rings up Valentin to start the 3rd.
Bosio will throw a number of pitches from different angles. That time he dropped down just a bit on Valentin when he was ahead in the count, and Valentin can't hold up the swing. A lot of different weapons for Chris Bosio.
Certainly a big adjustment for Red Sox hitters. Johnson last night, the flame-throwing left-hander, and Bosio throws, as you mentioned, a little bit of everything tonight. Looking for his first win as a member of the Mariners, 0-1 so far. Lost to Toronto 2-0 on April 7th, and then no decision at Toronto on the 13th. No decision Sunday at Detroit. Tony Pena pops a foul. He'll be in back of the Boston dugout. 1 strike to count on Pena. Mentioned Pena getting last night off. Bob Melvin doing the catching. Tony caught out here on Tuesday and went 2 for 4.
Tony needs 11 more hits for 1,500 in his Major League career.
Pitch to Pena, missing inside, a ball and a strike to Tony. I don't know how hard Bosio throws, but the way he mixes pitches up, that looked pretty quick as Pena moved off the plate. It's the sign from Valley. Bosio deals 1-1, and Pena stopped by Boone. Pena made a bid for the Red Sox first base hit of the night. Not hit hard, though, hung in the air, and Boone able to go over and make the catch.
On the artificial surface, infielders, especially a second baseman, can play much deeper than they normally do on grass. That gave the opportunity to Boone to get over and make a play on this line drive from Tony Pena.
Seven straight now retired by Bosio as we go back to the top of the order, and Ernest Riles, who drew a walk to start the ball game. Riles walked, Quintana walked. And that has been the Red Sox offense so far tonight against Chris Bosio. Foul ball back over our heads. Count even now on Riles at a ball and a strike. Bosio 16-6 with the Brewers last year, posting a 3.62 earned run average. Reeled off 10 straight wins. 25th of July, right to the end of the season before the Mariners beat him right here at the Kingdome in his last start.
He also had an awful lot of run support from that Milwaukee ball club, over 5 runs a game, 6th highest total in the major leagues. That's going to be a nice feeling when you're getting all those runs.
Sanderson, I guess, had the most support last year, and he's getting a lot of support this year as a member of the California Angels. He scored 7 for him the other night. Red Sox will see him on Sunday. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count on Ernest Riles.
Bosio went through a stretch last year. He walked 1 batter over a stretch of 8 starts.
Riles to first, flagged down by Martinez. The little flip to Bosio, and that will retire the side. Red Sox in order here in the top of the 3rd. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. 2-0 Seattle after 2.5.
Hi, I'd like to play Mass Millions.
Mass Millions has the biggest jackpots the lottery has to offer, an average of $10 million. And it also has a second prize of $50,000.
It'll be $1. Can you change a 20? Got anything smaller?
Mass Millions. With the lottery's biggest jackpots, it's the biggest game in town.
Ah, coach class. Looks comfy, doesn't it? Well, TWA felt you needed more space. So we took out seats, making TWA the roomiest major U.S. airline. And to prove it, we brought in some people who you know need more leg room. Oh, and I wouldn't call this coach. Introducing TWA's Comfort Class. More room, new name, but the price remains the same.
Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Burton, and this Major League Update is brought to you by Budweiser. Scores around the American League. The Twins edge the Brewers 5-4. The Yankees down the Athletics 5-1. Oakland has lost 6 of its last 7. The White Sox rally in the 9th to defeat the Orioles. 4-1 Toronto in the 8th over KC, and the Angels try to make it 3 in a row against Cleveland. In the National League, the Marlins end a 3-game losing streak. The Cardinals over the Rockies 5-2. Pittsburgh beats Cincy 5-4. The Expos win their 4th straight with a 3-1 win over the Dodgers. The Padres nip the Phillies 2-1, and the Giants lead the Mets 8-4 in the 9th. Our score here, Seattle 2, Boston nothing. Let's go back to the ballpark.
Bottom half of inning number 3, Steve, as Henry Cotto leads it off, followed by Ken Griffey and Jay Buhner. Tigers were idle today, so the Red Sox still with a 1.5-game lead over Detroit in the American League East as we begin play tonight. To the gap in left center field. After it goes Greenwell, he'll run it down.
Plus, a couple of years ago, they moved the fences back a bit deeper here in left field and left center field. For a few years, it was very shallow up there, very easy to hit home runs. Now, quite a bit of room for outfielders to roam around here at the Kingdome. Long way for Greenwell, just about back to the warning track.
And Greenwell had to roam on that one. 1 up and 1 going. To start the Mariner 3rd. Ken Griffey Jr. Gary is mentioning that he got off to a bad start this year. Just 7 hits in his first 40 at-bats. But since that time has gone on an 8-for-13 tear with 5 homers and 8 runs batted in. His average up to 283 starting tonight. 6 homers, 14 runs batted in. Flied out to Greenwell in left field back in the 1st. Calderon backpedaling in center. There's a lot of room to work with here at the Kingdome. 405 to straightaway center field now.
Calderon's got that mini snatch catch like Ricky Henderson used to have. Not quite as quick as Henderson did it, but somewhat similar. Get the glove up, make the catch, and spread the arms. There it is.
The fly ball outs. Otto hitting it a long way to left center. Griffey to straightaway center, and Jay Buhner will be the batter. He was called out on strikes back in the 1st inning. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Mariners. They lead the Sox 2-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd. 2-0 the count on Buhner. As Mentioned Buhner has a 6-game hitting streak on the line. Ground ball foul down the third baseline. Count is 2-1.
I think before we get any deeper in this game, Bob, we've got to have wishes for our director in the truck, John Vasallo. I mean, he's doing this game under a lot of pain. Separated his shoulder this afternoon and had that thing put back in spot at the emergency room, and he's back in action.
That's what happens when you play basketball with the big boys. Three balls and a strike, the count on Buhner. And Hesketh issues his second walk of the ball game.
Second baseman, number 5, Brett Boone.
Buhner drawing a 2-out walk here in the third. Held at first base there by Mo Vaughn. And the hitter will be the rookie second baseman, Brett Boone. Boone was up, of course, last year, but still qualifies as a rookie. Swings away, hits it to left field pretty deep. Back goes Greenwell on the warning track. Looks up, reaches up, and I believe it's gone. A home run for Boone. Greenwell went back as far as he could, went up as high as he could, but Boone has hit it out. A walk to Buhner, a home run to Boone. And it's 4-0 Seattle.
Not very big as Brett Boone, but he certainly has some power. A couple of years in the minor leagues, 19 home runs, 13 last year at Calgary, and picks up his first of the season here in 1993. Very large swing for Boone, and he can generate some power. Greenwell right back to the wall, will make the leap, but just out of his reach.
So Hesketh missing gasoline with fire, the walk, and then the long ball. 2 quick runs on the boards for the Mariners. They lead it 4-0. Tino Martinez the batter. 1-0 pitch from Hesketh. In for a called strike. 1-1 on Martinez.
The Mariners certainly have been hitting some home runs in their last 5 games.
Is that number 11 in the last 5? They went into Detroit and actually out-homered the Tigers over that 4-game weekend series, 9-5. They lost 3 of the 4. They hit 4 home runs Sunday, 4 on Monday. Cooled off here Tuesday. Then Griffey hit a couple last night. And Boone tonight.
As a team, they have 17 now on the season, and the leaders in that department are the Cleveland Indians with 19.
3-1 pitch to Martinez. And the count will be full. 3-2 on Tino Martinez. 4 runs, 4 hits for the Mariners. They lead the Red Sox 4-0 here in the bottom of the third. Intended short. Over to Mo Vaughn. That will retire beside, but the Mariners get 2 thanks to the home run by Boone, and they lead the Red Sox 4-0 after 3.
Tennis headliner from the hottest stops on the international scene. Relentless action as the best unleash an awesome assault.
It's highlights of the Phillips Open Sunday night at 7:30 right here on NESN.
Great times for everyone is what Friendly Fenway is all about. Bring your group in to see the Red Sox in '93. To purchase tickets, call the group sales department at 617-262-1915 or visit the Red Sox ticket office at Fenway Park or the clubhouse shop at the Burlington Mall.
The Sox will be home the 30th of the month to meet the California Angels. The Angels in for the weekend, April 30th, May 1st, and May 2nd. And the Seattle Mariners are there the 3rd and 4th, followed by the Oakland A's the 5th and the 6th of May. That's the next homestand for the Red Sox. Carlos Quintana leads it off for Boston here in the 4th. The QB followed by Mike Greenwell and then Andre Dawson. Flowers at 3rd. Well, I think we got some bad news from Buffalo. Let's check it out with Steve Burton. Steve?
Bad news indeed, Bob. In overtime, the Sabres get a power play early. Dale Howardchuk with the shot, save blue. Howardchuk chops it back in where Yari Himlep tips it in for the winner. 4-3 Sabres in OT. They lead the series 3-0.
Mike Greenwell here, swinging away, lining out to center field. Jumped on the first pitch, right at Ken Griffey Jr. out in center field. But 2 up and 2 going quickly for the Red Sox in the 4th. So the Bruins down 3-0 to zip to the Buffalo Sabres. They've lost 2 of the 3 in overtime. Game 1 at the Garden, and then Game 3 tonight at the Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo. Here it is 4-0 in favor of Seattle. Bases empty, 2 outs. As Andre Dawson bats here, top of the 4th. 1 ball, no strikes to the Hawk. A strikeout victim back in the 1st. Bosio has rung up 3 tonight. Two and 0 to Dawson. The count. Dawson so far has gone 0 for 7 for the series, getting his 10th straight start as the team's designated hitter after starting the season in right field for the Sox. Pops this one up. That'll be Boone, the second baseman, making the play, and the Sox again go in order in the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left through 3.5. 4-0 Seattle.
If you have kids, you have a problem. A math problem. Let's say you make X and take home Y. Subtract your phone, electric, and mortgage payments, not to mention the skiing, skating, guitar, and karate lessons, and you're lucky if you can see a movie on your VCR. Now, throw into that equation your 18-year-old with college on his mind and nothing in his wallet, and you don't need a CPA to tell you that.
You both run dry.
What you need is a home equity loan from Fleet, because unlike all those things that take more out of your paycheck, Fleet equity loans take out less. Fleet, whatever you make, they can make it go further.
If you're looking for a sports sedan with a 24-valve, 214-horsepower engine, 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, and traction control, the new Eagle Vision TSI should suit your taste. Allow us to whet your appetite. Test drive the new Eagle Vision TSI at your dealer now.
See your New England Jeep and Eagle dealer and test drive Eagle Vision.
Business out of town? Fly Business Express, the Delta Connection. Our schedules fit your schedule with nearly 600 flights a day to more than 30 cities. And our new jets have the best seats in the sky. Enjoy easy connections with Delta Airlines. And Delta frequent flyers earn a minimum of 1,000 miles with every flight. Complimentary snack and beverage service, too, on all cabin class flights. From Boston or Manchester, fly Business Express, the Delta Connection. Consult your travel agent or call Business Express.
It's 4-0 Mariners. This is how they scored. Blowers with an RBI single, and then Valley with a fielder's choice RBI. In the 3rd, Boone hit a 2-run homer. It's 4-0. Let's go back to the ballpark.
Indeed, 4-0. Mariners come to bat here, bottom of the 4th, bottom 3rd of the order. Mike Blowers, Dave Valley, and Omar Vizquel. 4 runs, 4 hits for Seattle. One strike pitch is in for a called strike 2 to Blowers, who had a single to center, drove in a run his first at bat back in the 2nd inning. Pacific Coast League's all-star 3rd baseman last year at Calgary, where he played 83 games and had 300 at bats. did get up to the big club for 31 games last year, plus has previous major league experience, as you know, with the Yankees. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count on Blowers. This is his 7th start tonight at third base for Seattle. First time he's played since the 17th of April in Detroit. Amaral's been playing third a lot. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Regular third baseman, of course. Edgar Martinez still on the disabled list, still out another 4 weeks. Pulled left hamstring. That was suffered the final day of spring training, April the 3rd, at Vancouver's British Columbia Place, big dome stadium, about 90 miles north of here. And Blowers is 2 for 2 against the Red Sox tonight.
Lou Piniella getting some production out of the guys that were not in the ball game last night. Brett Boone, of course, with his big home run, and Blowers picking up his 2nd hit. He's also drove in a run.
Catcher number 10, David Valley.
Topspin line drive from the bat of Mike Blowers quickly into the outfield for Calderon. And it looks like we're going to start to get some action now in that Red Sox bullpen. Looks like Paul Quantrill will be the first man out of the chute.
Dave Valley, the catcher, is the batter. Big jump. Pena takes a shot. And Blowers is safe at second base. The point being argued by Ernest Riles, who had to scramble to get over there to cover.
Once again, some inexperience at second base. Riles very late getting to the bag. Pena can't wait for him. He's got to make the throw. Now watch the position that Riles gets in. He's not prepared right there to make the tag. Hit and run was on. Tried to hold his ground as long as he possibly could, but did not get himself squared around that bag to make the tag.
So Blowers in scoring position with nobody out here. Mariners already with a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the 4th. 1 strike the count on Dave Valley. 1-1 on the Mariner catcher. Valley knocked in a run with a fielder's choice back in the 2nd. This one back. A ball and 2 strikes to count on Valley.
That swing there by Valley, trying to get that runner moved over to third base. Trying to move the ball to the right side of the field.
Mariners trying to make it back-to-back wins for the first time in this '93 season. Rode Randy Johnson's coattails, along with 2 home runs from Ken Griffey Jr. to a 5-0 win over the Red Sox last night, after the Sox had opened the series with a 5-2 win behind Roger Clemens on Tuesday. Got it on the right side, but it's just foul. The count remains a ball and 2 strikes to Dave Valley. Game of the series. Valley has been behind the plate for the Mariners in all 3 games. Off the second base is Blowers. He's there with nobody out here, bottom of the 4th. Heska dealing 1-2. And Valley a base hit to left center field. Blowers got a late break around second, heading home anyway. Blowers will score standing up. RBI single for Valley, and a 5-0 lead for the Mariners.
A couple of times now, Hesketh has jumped out ahead in the count, but can't put the hitter away. Breaking ball in, it stayed upstairs in the strike zone, and Flowers will come across to give the 5th run of the evening for the Seattle Mariners, and that'll also bring Butch Hobson out of the Red Sox dugout. able to get ahead in the count, get a couple of strikes on the hitter, but just can't make the pitch to put him away, and that's going to be the night for Joe Hesketh.
So Hesketh will depart having worked 3+. And this is his third start of the 93 season. Gives up 5 runs, 6 hits, strikeout 1, and walks 2. He's responsible, of course, for Dave Valley at second base. While Paul Quantrill takes over, let's go back and check in with Steve Burton and see what's happening elsewhere in Major League Baseball. Steve?
Okay, Bob, in Anaheim, bottom of the second, Greg Myers launches his first home run of the season to give the Angels a 1-0 lead. Cleveland's now down 2-0 in the third. Let's go back to the ballpark.
Looking forward to the visit to Anaheim. Well, the Angels are playing good ball, taking the first 2 games of a series in Cleveland, and they lead the American League West.
Angels are second in the league in offense with a .298 team batting average, third in pitching, and they're also playing some pretty decent defense. Paul Quantrill will be the new pitcher for the Red Sox, making his 5th appearance of the season, a record of 1-0 with a 2.57 ERA. 6 hits allowed in 7 innings for Quantrill, a couple of runs. He struck out 2 and he's walked 2. Last time he worked was on April the 15th. That was against Cleveland. 2 innings in that ball game, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 intentional walks, and no strikeouts. No record in his career against the Seattle Mariners.
So Quantrill will take over, gives us an opportunity to take the Pawtucket. Lost today to Richmond 11-4 at McCoy Stadium. But Greg Blosser went 2 for 3 in the ball game. Had a 3-run homer, his 6th of the season. He leads the International League with 6 home runs. Also is second in the league with 13 RBIs and has a .320 batting average. The Sox, by the way, are going to try and open a 3-game series in Ottawa, Ontario tomorrow against the Lynx. However, they're expecting in Ottawa 6 to 8 inches of snow. So that may be in a little bit of doubt. No doubt tomorrow for the Red Sox, though. They're down in Anaheim, where temperatures are expected to be in the 80s.
That's why you want to play in the big leagues.
Omar Vizquel will be the first batter to face Paul Quantrill, new pitcher for the Red Sox. Valley at first base, 1 run in, no 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Seattle has a 5-0 lead. 1 ball and no strikes, the count to Vizquel, who flied out to center back in the 2nd inning. One on Vizquel. Paul Quantrill on in relief of Joe Hesketh. One ball and 2 strikes to count. Now 2-2 the count on Vizquel. Quantrill working a ball game in the Kansas City series to start the year, 1 in the Texas series down at Arlington, and then worked twice against the Cleveland Indians while they were in Fenway Park. Three and 2 the count on Vizquel. Mariners beating the Sox last night 5-0. Lead tonight 5-0. Runner goes. Vizquel swings away. Calderon runs it down out in left center. Vizquel's been up twice, and twice has flied out to Calderon in center field. Back to first base, Dave Valley. Now with 1 out, it will go to the top of the order. And the left fielder, Mike Felder.
Now, Lou Piniella has played hit and run a couple of times already in this game and through the course of the season. Piniella has done an awful lot of moving of the runners at first base. See if he does it here with Tiny Felder coming to the plate.
Swings away. Quintana in right. And 2 gone. Outfielders are getting a lot of work tonight. Mariners with a number of fly ball outs. 2 2 going for the M's now here in the bottom of the 4th, and the designated hitter Henry Cotto up twice and flied out to the outfield twice to Quintana in the 1st inning and to Greenwell in the 3rd. 5 runs, 6 hits for the Mariners. No runs, no hits so far for the Red Sox. They got 2 walks off Chris Bosio to start the ball game. Nothing since. 1-0 pitch. 2-0 to Cotto. Fouls it back. 2-1 the count on Henry Cotto.
Well, the Yankees come into Seattle, play a weekend series. They've won their ball game this afternoon, beating Oakland 5-1. Oakland having some tough times right now.
And his Eckersley, what, 3 blow and save opportunities already more than all of last year. 2-2 to Cotto. And the West Coast shuffle. Yankees come to Seattle. Indians go up to Oakland. Red Sox down to Anaheim. Jammed Cotto back to Quantrill. And a rather easy play at first as Cotto just turns and walks back to the dugout after being jammed. And that retires Seattle in the 4th inning. The Mariners add another run, though, on 2 base hits, no Red Sox errors, 1 man left. We are through 4 5-zip M's.
When you're thirsty, you need a squirt. Because there's nothing like our refreshing blend of citrus flavors. Give your thirst a squirt.
In the summer of 1994, men from 24 countries will hold the world captive. The 1994 World Cup, brought to you in part by GMC Truck.
Upper Deck asked a few average card collectors whose cards they collect.
I collect Steve Young. I collect endorsements. I collect back doctors and surgeons. Rings. I collect fines.
I just collect fishing lures. The Muskie Dingbat.
Dingbat? I have a 56 powder blue Chevy. Powder blue? A Ferrari. I collect Reggie. Rolls Royce. Reggie. Really? Not.
Yeah. The smooth.
Original interior, original carpet, drives like a dream.
Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Chevy Dealers of New England. Start where more people end up. By Fleet Bank, a member of Fleet Financial Group. We're here to make a difference. By Harvard Community Health Plan. A system as complex as yours deserves care as complete as ours. By Cellular One, the one on top. And by your local Sherwin-Williams paint stores. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams, a participating sponsor of Major League Baseball.
Well, I don't think he'd play in Fenway Park, but he's popular here at the Pacific Northwest. You are looking at Mariner Moose.
Mariner Moose,
93.
Pretty good athlete, too. I see that every day before the game, he warms up some of the Mariners, plays catch with them to get them ready for the game. And I think a little more entertaining than Ranger Bow Wow, who was down in Port Charlotte. Moose, of course, last year spending some time on the 15-day disabled list with an injury. Back healthy again for 93 and ready to go.
Now, hopefully the Sox are ready to go as they come to bat here in the 5th inning against Chris Bosio. Mo Vaughn, who has a 4-game hitting streak on the line to lead it off. He'll be followed by Ivan Calderon and Scott Cooper. Vaughn, a strikeout victim back in inning number 2. So Mo is 0 for 1 tonight against Bosio. 1-1 on the hit dog. Bosio, by the way, has retired 11 straight. Opening the ball game with a pair of walks. Got Greenwell to hit into a double play. Escaped difficulty in the 1st inning. Has Vaughn ahead of this pitch. A ball and 2 strikes on Mo Vaughn. Vaughn second in the American League in batting average coming into play tonight. .412 behind Tony Phillips. .429, which leads the American League. Vaughn has 21 hits, tying him with Carlos Baerga for 2nd place, again behind Phillips, who has 24. Makes a bid. That's foul. Still a ball and 2 strikes to count on Mo.
Gonna have a tough time squeezing one down that first baseline because Martinez is very, very close to the line and deep, and Boone is really pulled over, playing Mo to pull.
Boone, the 2nd baseman. Martinez, the 1st baseman, swung that far over. Obviously, there's a huge hole right up the middle behind Bosio. shortstop, Vizquel, all the way over to the second baseman, Boone. Bosio, as we mentioned, looking for his first win in a Mariner uniform. Certainly has a good shot at it tonight. He has a 5-0 lead, top of the 5th. Pitch to Vaughn, ground ball, first base, booted by Martinez, played by Boone to Bosio. Look at that, 3-4-1. When things are going good.
Still no hits for the Red Sox in this ball game. Now, if this had happened somewhere in the 8th inning or 7th inning, that'd be some kind of play to talk about. But watch this, right off the glove here of Martinez, and the barehanded play by Boone, and then just fires a rocket to Bosio, who's doing his job covering first base. That's going to make the highlights on the best plays of the week.
Red Sox got to feel, too, like they're pushing a rock uphill at this point. Calderon is the hitter. 1 ball and no strikes on Calderon, who bounced back to Bosio in the second. Sawx ran into a nasty lefty in Johnson last night. Calderon drives this one to left center field. After it is Griffey. Another fine defensive play. Good running catch out in center field by Ken Griffey. Let's go back and check in with Steve Burton.
Okay, Bob, in Anaheim in the bottom of the 4th, J.T. Snow puts his 5th home run of the season into the right field seats. California now leads Cleveland 3-0 in the 5th. Let's go back to the ballpark.
Well, a great play again by Ken Griffey Jr. in center field. That's fairly routine, though, for Griffey. Some of the plays we've seen him make over the years.
Yeah, made a better one to start the ball game on Tuesday night. Scott Cooper to right field. Battling out there was Buhner. I don't know if he lost the ball to the lights or exactly what it was, but the Red Sox go in order. Would have been a lot better than things turned out here in the 5th inning, but for Boston, no runs, no hits, no errors, none left. Halfway through the ball game, the Mariners lead him 5-0.
Without you, they'd never make it down this mountain. Horses don't show much appreciation, but a job well done still has its rewards.
Head for the mountains of Bush.
What kind of paint would you use inside your own house if price were no object? Well, it isn't anymore, because Sherwin-Williams is rolling back prices during their price rollback sale. Right now, you can pick up a gallon of Style Perfect Interior Flat Latex for just $8.99. And that's a great paint for a great price, folks. So you got a choice. You can spend less at Sherwin-Williams or settle for less somewhere else. Sherwin-Williams price rollback sale ends May 22nd. So, get rolling.
Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Burton, and this Major League Update is brought to you by the Mass State Lottery. Scores around the American League. The Twins over the Brewers 5-4. The Yankees down the Athletics 5-1. Jack McDowell wins his 4th as the White Sox beat the Orioles 3-2. 6-2 Blue Jays, bottom of the 9th. 3-0 Angels, bottom of the 5th. In the National League, the Marlins end a 3-game losing streak with the 3-1 win over the Braves. The Cardinals over the Rockies 5-2. Pitt won better than Cincinnati. The Expos win their 4th straight. The Padres nipped the Phillies 2-1. And San Francisco just destroys New York 13-4. Once again, our score, Seattle 5, Red Sox 0. This Major League Update is brought to you by the Mass State Lottery.
Well, there may be more, but as far as I know, there are 2 players that go by the name Junior. You say Junior in their towns, you know who you're talking about. Cal Ripken, of course, in Baltimore, and Ken Griffey here. And Junior of Seattle will lead off here in the bottom of the 5th, followed by Jay Buhner and Brett Boone against the Red Sox right-hander Paul Quantrill. Junior has gone 0 for 2 tonight. He's flied to Greenwell in left and then deep to center field to Calderon. 1 strike. I guess he had a monster home run the other day in Detroit, 471 feet into the upper deck in the right center field bleachers at Tiger Stadium. I'm sure he had his best 1-2. A ball and 2 strikes, the count on Griffey. Goes down swinging. Strikeout number 1 for Quantrill.
13th time this year that Griffey has gone down with the strikeout. Good fastball there by Quantrill. You can see the movement on it, tailing away from the left-handed hitter.
So he's 0 for 3 on the night. Jay Buhner, the batter, looks at 1 inside. 1 ball, no strikes on Buhner, who's been called out on strikes. That was in the first inning, then walked and scored a run in the third. Hesketh walked him after 2 were out. Boone drove him home with a home run. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count on Buhner. Two.
Both guys in the game now, both Quantrill and Bosio, waste no time at all. Get the ball back and right back on the rubber, ready to go.
Buhner will foul this one. The count remains a ball and 2 strikes. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the M's. Zip, zip, zip for the Sawx. 2-2 now to Buhner. Quantrill replaced Hesketh in the 4th inning. Has now retired all 4 batters that he's faced. Now we'll go full on Buhner. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Paul Quantrill out of London, Ontario, Canada. Cooper at third. Long throw over to Mo Vaughn. 2 up and 2 going now for the Mariners here in the 5th.
Second baseman, Brett Boone.
Brett Boone, the hitter, home run the last time at bat. A 2-run shot back in the 3rd. One strike, the count on Boone. Boone also at his first major league home run against the Red Sox. That was against Mike Gardner last August 22nd at Fenway Park. Quantrill will burn him inside. A ball and a strike now, the count on Boone. Fouled back, a ball and 2 strikes on Boone.
Of course, with Boone coming up last year, Harold Reynolds did not get a lot of playing time at the end of the season. Reynolds eventually ending up with the Baltimore Orioles. Everybody expected Boone to start the season with this ball club, but it didn't happen.
No, Amaral actually outplayed him at second base in spring training. 2 balls rather and 2 strikes. And then, of course, Amaral was the regular second baseman. Boone wound up down at Calgary, and then Martinez got hurt. Hot shot, base hit, Brett Boone. That's 7 on the night for the Mariners, and Boone is now 3 for 3.
Doing just about everything tonight, hitting home runs, getting base hits, making fine defensive plays. Fastball right back up the middle. Past Ernie Riles at second base. Now, last year when he came up, he struggled. Only hit 194. Struck out 34 times while only walking 4 times, but he did hit 4 home runs.
Sounds like you're going to have to get on that California beach and bake out that cold.
Got to get outside.
Smog will be good for you. Clear you right out. 5 runs, 7 hits now for the Mariners. Get the 2-out single from Boone. Tino Martinez, the first baseman, the batter. Ball and no strikes to Martinez. Singled to right in the second, and then rolled out to shortstop Valentin in the third. (2-0) the count on Martinez. Quantrill on in relief of Joe Hesketh. That's a called strike. 2-1 now on Martinez. Quantrill instead to first, and back is Boone.
Looks like they had Boone leaning towards second base.
Sam Mejias, first base coach of the Mariners. Vaughn holds with the runner. Cat and mouse game. Quantrill, Boone. With a count of 2-1 on the hitter Tino Martinez. Riles at second. Getting it over to Mo Vaughn, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no Sox errors, 1 left. We're through 5 5-0 M's.
Come watch your favorite all-time Red Sox heroes in the annual Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball game on May 29th at 1:05 p.m. at Friendly Fenway, where there are always great times for everyone. All fans entering the park prior to 1:05 p.m. will receive a commemorative card sheet, compliments of Upper Deck. Following the Heroes game at 3:05 p.m., the Red Sox will challenge the Texas Rangers. To purchase tickets, phone 617-267-1700 or visit the Red Sox ticket office at Fenway Park or the clubhouse shop at Burlington Mall.
The quotes are in on the all-new Geo Prism. A look that easily surpasses Honda's best efforts to date. A handsomely styled, roomy, refined sedan. A best buy. But the most impressive quote of all may be the one you get from your Chevrolet Geo dealer.
Hey, I used to look like you, but the latest equipment, personal trainer, can make you more of a man. See, I had a brother that used to flick me, be right here, ouch, you know, and anyway, we have a free trial offer. We got a deal.
The 9X Yellow Pages. It's surprising what the ads can tell you.
This book, I can rip in half.
And because of the Bruins playoff schedule, NESN will pick up Saturday night's Red Sox game from California. Game against the Angels. Game time is 10 o'clock, and you can catch Steve Burton at 9:30 live with Red Sox Digest. Don't miss the action. Red Sox and Angels Saturday night at 10 right here on NESN.
Well, we have rolled along to the top half of the 6th inning. John Valentin, Tony Pena, Ernest Riles due up against Chris Bosio. 1 strike to count on Valentin. Valentin a strikeout victim back in the 3rd. Oh, and 2 on Johnny B. Fouled at the plate, and Bosio remains ahead in the count 0-2. If you joined us late, he walked the first 2 hitters. Bosio did, has retired everybody else since. 14 in a row. 14 batters have produced 15 outs because Greenwell hit into a double play. Valentin rolls it, snagged by Boone, over to Martinez, 1 out to start the 6th.
Well, we talked about a guy like Bosio. When he's working, he works very quickly. He keeps everybody involved in the game. And what happens is you usually get a lot of good defensive plays behind you. A couple already tonight by Boone, this time to the backhand to make it. Griffey has also made 1 in center field.
Bosio's gone 5 1/3 innings without giving up a hit. The Sox came close to getting 3 of them last inning. Martinez booting 1 at first base, deflected off him to Boone, who threw to Bosio covering. Then Calderon. Line went out to left center, run down by Griffey. Then Cooper hit 1 to right that Buhner lost in the lights, but found it and made the catch. 1 ball, no strikes to count on Tony Pena, who popped to second back in the 3rd. Nice play by Blowers. 2 up and 2 gone. Well, some snappy fielding. First by Boone. Blowers that time shot out the backhand.
And attacked it on the backhand, too. He didn't sit back on it and play it on the big hop. He came right after that ball, made the backhand, and throw across the diamond. He's got a very strong throwing arm from third base. So they're making the plays. He's throwing strikes, and his defense is responding with some fine plays.
That's sort of a rocking chair style night for Bosio.
He's had a couple of these against the Red Sox.
Ernest Riles looks at ball one. Riles walked to start the ball game, got as far as third. No Red Sox has gotten that close since. And Riles rolled out to the first baseman Martinez. Bosio covering his last at bat in the third. A ball and a strike. Two and one to Riles. Two and two now, the count on Riles. Butch Hobson saw his club break out of the starting gate 11-3, beaten by Randy Johnson yesterday 5-0. Butch's gang behind tonight, 5-zip as well. Only two great pitching performances to cool off your ball club. 2-2 pitch. Boone to Martinez. 3 ground ball outs. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left after 5.5. 5-0 Seattle.
What is a mountain man's natural environment? Let's explore. A mountain man enjoys peaceful surroundings. A place where gentle winds blow. And the beauty of nature is all about. Only here does the mountain man find true happiness with a smooth bush beer or an easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and find out how the true mountain man can make any environment a more natural one.
Take a good close look at a Speedy and a Midas estimate. And here's what you'll find. At Midas, if your car needs additional parts or labor after the work's been started, you could be asked to pay for it. At Speedy, you'll never pay more than the original estimate. Never. Come to Speedy and never pay more. See the light? Call us on it.
Business out of town? Fly Business Express, the Delta Connection. Our schedules fit your schedule with nearly 600 flights a day to more than 30 cities. And our new jets have the best seats in the sky. Enjoy easy connections with Delta Airlines. And Delta frequent flyers earn a minimum of 1,000 miles with every flight. Complimentary snack and beverage service, too, on all cabin class flights. From Boston or Manchester, fly Business Express, the Delta Connection. Consult your travel agent or call Business Express.
The 1993 Red Sox Media Guide is now available. It has more than 270 pages of information on your favorite Red Sox players. To order, please send $8 and your return address to Red Sox Media Guide, 4 Yorkie Way, Boston, Mass. 02215.
Bottom half of inning number 6 here, Kingdome in Seattle, Washington. Had a cool day in the Pacific Northwest today, but nice and toasty inside the dome. Mike Blowers, Dave Valley, Omar Vizquel against Quantrill. 1 strike to Blowers, who's gone 2 for 2 tonight. 7 hits for the Mariners, 3 by Boone, 1 by Martinez, 2 by Blowers, and 1 by Valley. Oh and 2. Seattle got 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 more in the fourth. Big hit of the ball game, 2-run home run by Bob Boone, or not Bob Boone, Brett Boone. Bob's managing. Ray's scouting, Brett's playing. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on Blowers. Two and 2 now to Blowers. Bosio and company down in the Red Sox bullpen. Paul Quantrill has mound duty in relief of Joe Heskett. And from 0-2, we go to a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Flowers. That was the exact same crowd we had last night. 13,604. It was 13,600 something last evening, after drawing 28,000 plus here on Tuesday. Called strike 3. Flowers stood, watched it go by. He's rung up on strikes, and will ring up Steve Burton. Steve?
Okay, Bob, with the Angels already ahead 3-zip, a Gary DiSarcina double drives in 2 more. California now leads the Tribe 7-0 in the 6th. Back to you.
So we're back at the Kingdome. Dave Valley stepping in with 1 gone here in the 6th. One ball and no strikes on Valley, who knocked in a run with the fielder's choice back in the 2nd, and then singled to center, drove in another run in the 4th. M's 5, Sawx nothing. 2 balls and no strikes.
Quantrill's been running that fastball in on those right-handed hitters with some pretty good zip on it. Remember the one that Cotto had back in the 4th inning? Tried to hold up his swing, didn't even run the first base, get in so far on him.
Valley, a little looper to left field over the head of Valentin in front of Greenwell, and Valley has picked up his 2nd hit of the night.
Also sounded like next time that Valley comes to the plate, he'll have to bring a new piece of wood with him, because I believe that bat cracked. Good way for it to end, though. Get a base hit on it. Put that right about at the label and just muscle it out over the head of Valentin for the base hit.
8 total now for the Mariners. They're 2nd off Paul Quantrill. Now that one's dead, I think. Omar Vizquel has been up twice and has flied to center twice. Tried the left field route this time, drops it in front of Greenwell, and it gets by him all the way to the wall. Valley now rounding 3rd. He's being waved home. Vizquel will go into 3rd standing up. That'll be a single, I would guess, and a 2-base error.
Line drive dropping just in front of Greenwell out in left field. He charges it. It's going to deflect right off his arm and get by him all the way back to the wall. He's got to chase it down. Valley will come around to score, and Vizquel will easily end up on 3rd base.
Yep, single, error charge to Greenwell, no RBI, 6-0 in favor of Seattle. Not a good night for the Red Sox defensively. Even though it's their first error.
Looks like Hobson calling for the appeal at 2nd base on Vizquel. And Kenny Kaiser, the first base umpire, makes the call.
Nobody's going to argue with it. So it stands as 6-0 Seattle. Vizquel at 3rd base with 1 out. Mike Felder, the hitter. Sox pulling the infield in. 1 strike to Felder, who has walked, flied to left, and flied to right. 0-2. Runner at 3rd base and 1 out. Of course, Quantrill would like to punch out here. Felder, a little blooper, and back of the draw and an infield. That'll fall for a base hit. And Vizquel will score easily. It is 7-0 now for the Mariners.
Now, 2 of the 3 hits so far in this inning have not exactly been kissed. The one by Valley, a broken bat muscle job that was out toward left field, and now this one with the infield drawn in. Just a routine pop-up, but because of that positioning of the infield, nobody has a chance at it.
Batting for Henry Cotto, number 4, Becky Sasser.
going to have a pinch hitter now for Henry Cotto. As the Mariners celebrating their 7-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th in the dugout. Rich Gale will be coming up. Mackey Sasser has been announced as the pinch hitter for Henry Cotto.
Tony Foss is working down in that Red Sox bullpen. Just got up. That's about the 4th warm-up pitch that he made. Probably not going to work to Sasser, but they have to go with Griffey next. I'm sure that Foster would be brought in the game to pitch to Griffey.
Quantrill got the leadoff hitter here of the 6th. Flowers on strikes. Valley reached him for a 1-out single. Vizquel dumped 1-1 at Greenwell. Then rolled all the way to the wall, scored a single and a 2-base error. That scored Valley, moved Vizquel to 3rd, and then Felder, little bloop single against a draw on an infield. And here, Lou Piniella giving Mackey Sasser his first AB this year. Sasser coming off a disabled list yesterday, broke a left shoulder blade in spring training. 2nd game, and has been out ever since. Can't play the position defensively. He's a catcher. Can pinch hit. Swings away, drives it to center, and Calderon will make the catch.
It's like the middle of the winter for Mackey Sasser. You mentioned he got hurt in spring training very early in the spring. He's hardly had any live at bats at all so far this year. They did not want to send him out on rehab. They felt like they needed an experience hitter right now, and that's why Sasser was brought in. That's going to be it for Paul Quantrill, and Tony Foss will be coming into the ballgame.
Well, Quantrill had one of those games where he pitched better than his numbers, going 2 2/3 innings, giving up 2 runs, 3 hits, striking out 2. Did not walk a batter, leaves responsible for Felder.
Well, after tonight, the Sox move on to Anaheim for a weekend set against the Angels. TV 38 has game 1 of the series tomorrow night. Then we're back with you Saturday night. ESPN has the series finale Sunday night at 8 o'clock.
And if you want to go into next week, we'll have the games for you from Oakland on Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon.
Tony Foss is making his 6th appearance of the season. No wins and no losses. Tony's worked a total of 3 innings, allowing 3 hits and 2 runs. Both runs have been earned. He has struck out 3. He's walked 1. Opponents hitting .250 so far this season off Tony. He worked at the ball game last night, an inning and a 3rd. Had 1 strikeout, retied all 4 batters that he faced.
Foss is getting work again. We'll bring you up to date. Well, actually, just about everything is over as far as the rest of the games in Major League Baseball. Twins winning this afternoon against Milwaukee 5-4 at the Metrodome. The New York Yankees thumping the Oakland A's again. That was also played this afternoon. 5-1 the final there as you get a look at Chris Bosio, who so far has no-hit the Red Sox through his first 6 innings. His low-hit game, by the way, is 2. He has done that twice in his Major League career. Other scores, 6-3, Toronto winning in Kansas City. Top of the 6th in California. The Angels on top of the Indians 7-0. And from this afternoon in that makeup game from the game rained out yesterday, the White Sox beat the Orioles by a score of 3-2. National League, Florida over Atlanta 4-3. St. Louis turned back Colorado 5-2 at Busch Stadium. Montreal a winner over the Dodgers 3-1. San Diego beat the Phillies 2-1. Pittsburgh dropped Cincinnati 5-4. And San Francisco had a big day at Shea, beating the Mets 13-4. So just this one and the one down the road, quite a ways down the road, down at Anaheim, Cleveland and California, the only 2 games still going in Major League Baseball. One strike to Ken Griffey Jr.
So Bosio sitting in that dugout before. He'd probably just soon be out on that mound now and keep the momentum going for him. He's got enough runs at this point.
Has a touchdown to work with. Boss is trying to get a very tough left-handed hitter in Ken Griffey. 1 ball and 1 strike. Griffey Sr. is the hitting coach of the Mariners. Griffey Sr. also a former teammate of Lou Piniella. They played together in New York. Griffey Sr. also played for Piniella when Piniella was first named manager of the Yankees, and also played the tail end of his career in Cincinnati when Lou managed over there.
A couple of great players in the big leagues had their fathers on the coaching staff. Of course, Barry Bonds. Bobby Bonds, a coach with the San Francisco Giants.
3 balls and a strike now. The count on Griffey. Popped up. In comes the cue. And that'll do it for Seattle here in the 6th inning. Mariners, though, will pick up another couple of runs, and they have a 7-0 lead now after 6.
Warfare when the best young boxers go toe-to-toe at the Great Western Forum in Los Angeles. It's Fight Night at the Forum Monday night at 11. Live on NESN, your ticket to the best in boxing.
NESN warms up the merry month of May with the best in baseball, featuring the red-hot Red Sox, taking on some of the game's premier players. The Bruins hope to be skating right into June, and we'll bring you all the playoff action from the historic Boston Garden. College baseball's best go head-to-head in search of conference championships in the Big 8, Southwest, and ACC. NESN's Fast Track Thursdays go into overdrive with high-speed excitement from Pit Road to Victory Lane. We'll even have live coverage of Goody's Daily Double from Charlotte, North Carolina. Heat up your Friday nights with the kings and the queens of the beach. We prescribe a weekly double dose of serves and spikes from the Pro Volleyball Tours. Speaking of serves, the best players in men's tennis return to NESN for the AT&T Challenge live from Atlanta and the Clay Court Championships of Tampa. So put winter behind you, enjoy the warmth of the sun on NESN, your ticket to the merry month of May.
Catch the fun, thrills, and excitement of the 1993 Red Sox. To order your tickets, phone the Red Sox ticket office at 617-267-1700. Or visit the Red Sox ticket office at Fenway Park or the clubhouse shop at the Burlington Mall.
Top half the 7th inning. Kingdome here in Seattle. Chris Bosio has retired the last 17 Red Sox as Carlos Quintana leads off. 1 strike to the cue, who has walked, was erased in a double play back in the 1st inning and then grounded out to 3rd. 0-2. Like he's been 0-2 all night long.
After the first 2 hitters of the game, Riles and Quintana with both walks, and after that, he's been ahead of everybody.
One ball and 2 strikes to Quintana. Every pitch here at the Kingdome. Bosio, as we mentioned, 2 hitters in his major league career. Count on Quintana will go full. Last time he pitched the 2-hitter was against the Yankees on the 17th of September 1991 at Yankee Stadium. Bosio, of course, at the time was with the Milwaukee Brewers. Vizquel at short. 1 gone. So 18 in a row retired by Bosio. Of course, that's produced 19 outs. Greenwell still getting booed here at the Kingdome from his little confrontation last night with Randy Johnson. Actually, both Johnson and Greenwell sort of laughing it off after the game. Greenwell struck out by Johnson in the 1st inning. And Johnson apparently waved his glove. Greenwell took offense, yelled back out at Johnson. Johnson saying afterwards he didn't mean to show anybody up, and Greenwell says that basically he just reacted to the heat of the moment. Johnson won the battle big time last night, striking out the Gator 3 times. Two and one on Greenwell. Mike went 2 for 3 out here Tuesday night with his first home run of the season. Vizquel off the carpet to Martinez, 2 up, 2 gone.
The pitching there by Bosio after an inside fastball on the 2-0 count. He takes something off, turns over the fastball, keeps it away from Greenwell, and gets the ground ball to shortstop. He just makes it look so easy.
Certainly has tonight, facing Andre Dawson for the 3rd time in the ballgame. Tonight's the first look the Hawk has had at Bosio. Struck out first time up against him in the 1st inning, and then popped to second base in the 4th. 1-0 pitch. Vizquel, nice play to Martinez. 3 up, 3 down. All of them to shortstop. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. 7th inning stretch at the Kingdome. 7-0 Seattle.
In the summer of 1994, football season will begin on June 17th. The 1994 World Cup, brought to you in part by Gillette.
Having a real estate license doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to sell real estate. You have to understand people.
There isn't anything any school could teach you to make you care about people. That's got to come from the heart.
Century 21, rated most knowledgeable in real estate.
Some days you just can't lose. Wanna live, wanna spread the news. Some days you feel so good. Gotta smile, gotta knock on wood.
A great day calls for a great beer. The Michelob beers, with its smooth, classic taste you don't find every day.
Michelob, some days. Michelob, some days are better than others.
Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Burton, and this Major League Update is brought to you by Budweiser. Scores around the American League. The Twins over the Brewers 5-4. The Yankees down the A's 5-1. Jack McDowell improves to 4-0 as the White Sox rallied to defeat the Orioles. The Blue Jays beat the Royals 6-3. California over Cleveland 7-zip in the 6th. In the National League, the Marlins end a 3-game losing streak. The Cardinals over the Rockies 5-2. The Pirates snap a 5-game losing streak. The Expos win their 4th straight. The Padres squeak by the Phillies 2-1. And the Giants rout the Mets 13-4. Once again, our score here is Seattle 7, Red Sox nothing. This Major League Update is brought to you by Budweiser.
New pitcher for the Red Sox will be Greg Harris in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2nd appearance of the series for Harris. He worked on Tuesday night. A couple of innings in that ball game. 2 hits and 1 run. That run was earned. Had 1 walk in that ball game. 7th appearance overall in the season. The Red Sox right-hander.
Did a nice job coming in for Roger Clemens, who struggled through 6 1/3 innings. Held on to it. Russell picked up the save in the 9th inning, and the Red Sox won the first game of this series 5-2. It has been all Seattle, though, ever since. 5-0 last night behind Johnson. 7-zip M's tonight. Dave Buhner leads it off, followed by Brett Boone and Tino Martinez. Ball and a strike to Buhner. Strikes in the 1st inning, walked, came in on Brett Boone's home run in the 3rd, and then grounded out to Scott Cooper in the 5th. Two and 2.
So much for the 3 days rest baloney about Bosio.
Put that to bed, didn't he? Way out in front, Harris rings up number 1.
Take a look at the play to end last inning. A fine play by shortstop Omar Vizquel. Dawson heading it back up toward the middle, and they play him to pull, so a long way to go. Vizquel makes the off-balance throw and plenty of time to get Andre at first base.
Vizquel getting all 3 assists last inning for the Mariners. Brett Boone, the hitter. Ball to no strikes to Boone. 3 for 3 for Boone tonight. Pair of singles sandwiched around a 2-run homer in the 3rd. Two balls, no strikes. Hesketh, Quantrill, Fawcett, and now Harris for the Sox tonight.
Probably get 1 inning here out of Harris, and Ken Ryan, who's now starting to warm up, would probably pitch the 8th inning.
and a strike to Boone. Three and two to Brett Boone. Seven runs, 10 hits tonight for the Mariners. 3-2 offering from Harris. Big curveball, strike three.
Harris, very much like Bosio, he'll throw that breaking ball from a lot of different angles. That time drops down just a little bit and gets a big break away from the right-handed hitter. Now, Boone can afford to have one strikeout tonight. He's had a heck of a night.
So much for the perfect night. Brett is now 3 for 4. Tino Martinez, 1 ball and no strikes, the count on the Mariner first baseman. One strike to Martinez, who singled to right back in the second, grounded to short in the third, grounded to second in the fifth. Two and one. Three and one. Martinez draws a walk, first off Harris, just the third off the Sawx tonight. Eskins walked 2. Quantrill and Bosio did not walk the batter. Martinez at first, giving the Mariners a base runner with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Mike Flowers, the third baseman. Harris singles to his credit. Called out on strikes his last at bat in the 6th inning. Looks the big bender for a strike.
It's almost like the crowd doesn't care anymore about the offense for the Mariners. They want to see Bosio back on the mound his last 2 innings.
See how this all comes out. Fastball that time, 0-2. Bosio has been absolutely magnificent. Retired 20 in a row. 2 Sawx have reached against Bosio, both via the base on balls. Riles and Quintana to start the ball game. And since that time, Bosio has just completely shut down the Boston offense. Still a ball and 2 strikes. And 2 strikes, the count on Blowers. Valentin getting it over to Mo Vaughn, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We head to the 8th, 7-0 Seattle.
Coach class. Looks comfy, doesn't it? Well, TWA felt you needed more space. So we took out seats, making TWA the roomiest major U.S. airline. And to prove it, we brought in some people who you know need more leg room. Oh, and I wouldn't call this coach. Introducing TWA's Comfort Class. More room, new name, but the price remains the same.
I'm a gym teacher from Worcester. I needed a new car. With my salary, that required some real financial gymnastics. But when I saw the '93 Chevy Cavalier, I was in better shape than I thought. I picked one up for around $7,800. And you know what? It comes standard with ABS, an anti-lock braking system like you'd find on an expensive import. Hey, when it comes to value and safety, I'm no dumbbell.
The
1993 Chevy Cavalier, the one that gives you the safety of anti-lock brakes at no extra charge. Get to your neighborhood Chevrolet dealer today.
Every day you're bombarded with advertising that screams, buy this, buy that, try this, try that. But while your desire for all this cool stuff is unlimited, your paycheck isn't. I mean, after you pay the phone, rent, and electric, there's barely enough to pay for necessities, like cable and CDs. It just isn't fair. But before you give up on that Mudman mountain bike, consider this, a Fleet Low Interest credit card. Because unlike all those things that take more out of your paycheck, Fleet Low Interest credit cards take out less, which gives you more to play around with. Fleet, whatever you make, they can make it go further.
Well, there's the man of the hour, Chris Bosio of the Seattle Mariners, trying to make his first win in a Mariner uniform a biggie. He walked Riles, he walked Quintana to start the ball game, and since then, one after another, the Red Sox have gone down 20 in a row now as the hit dog Mo Vaughn leads off here in the 8th. It'll be Vaughn, Calderon, and Cooper. Swings away out to center field. Griffey is there, one gone. 21 in a row. Down before Bosio.
Everybody getting involved now. Obviously, the fans are involved, all the players on the field. Everybody on defense just a little bit tighter right now, wanting to make sure that they make the play for Bosio.
If it happens, 13,604 can say they were at the Kingdome that night. Calderon, the hitter. One strike to count. Every swing and a miss draws a roar from the crowd.
Tomorrow there'll be 48,000 people that said they were here last night.
Calderon grounds it foul, 0-2.
He's mixed his pitches up well. Fastball, turned the fastball over. A lot of breaking balls, a few change-ups in this game. That Red Sox hit is completely off balance all night long.
0-2 from Bosio. Ground ball, Flowers at third. And Bosio is now 4 outs away.
Very tough on the right-handers when he's dropped down a little bit to the side with that breaking ball.
Bosio's best two-hitter twice in his career, but last time 91 against the Yankees, while a member of the Milwaukee Brewers. Red Sox have not been no-hit since Dave Righetti turned the trick on the 4th of July, 1983 at Yankee Stadium. 1 ball and no strikes to count on Scott Cooper. Red Sox history dating all the way back to charter member of the American League in 1901. Sox have been no-hit 11 times. When I remember when Jim Bunning got Ted Williams at Fenway Park for the last out.
I remember the Righetti one because I was in that game.
You didn't make the last out, did you?
No, I didn't. I would have, though, if I'd have been the last man up.
3 balls and no strikes to count on Cooper. Gets the call, 3-1 on Cooper. Cooper has grounded to first and lined to right. Last time at bat, Buhner had some problems with the lights here at the Kingdome, fought through it and made the catch. 3-2, a late call, but they got the call from Vic Voltaggio.
Anything close at this point certainly is going to be a strike.
After 7.5, Bosio still has his no-no, and the Mariners have a 7-0 lead.
It's the most exciting time in the sports year, and NESN Sports Desk, the morning edition, will be there for all the action as the Bees make their drive for Lord Stanley's Cup. The Bees aren't the only Boston team in search of a championship. The Celtics are ready to go for their 17th flag. And if that's not enough, how about those Sawx? We'll show you all the hard-hitting thrills as they look to continue their early season success. You'll get it all when you tune in every weekday morning, anytime between 5 and 9.
And how are we today? Oh, busy, eh? Tell me about it. Have you been flossing? Well, rubber tipping's not a substitute for flossing. You have to make the time, at least twice a day. You know the drill. Sorry, just a little dentist humor there.
How does a dentist keep the conversation going?
You're fine. You're all set.
Cellular One. It's the one for business. Any business.
In a game rich with traditions, Sherwin-Williams has created one of its own by preserving and protecting the national shrines of our national pastime. This is the paint of the pros, and it's the choice of millions of fans at home. And while your town may not have a big league ballpark in it, it does have a big league paint store. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
This copyrighted program is brought to you under paid cable TV rights granted by the Boston Red Sox solely for the entertainment of our viewing audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the accounts and description of this game without the written consent of the New England Sports Network and the Boston Red Sox is prohibited.
Bottom half of inning number 8. Ken Ryan, the 5th pitcher to work for the Red Sox tonight. Esquith, Quantrill, Fossas, Harris, and now Ryan. Dave Valley leading it off, and be followed by Omar Vizquel. And back to the top of the order and Mike Felder. Valley pops it up. Cooper makes the catch, one gone.
As Ryan worked in the ball game last night, 2/3 of an inning in that game, 1 hit and 1 strikeout.
No one cares about the bottom half of the 8th inning. Everybody's looking forward to the top half of the 9th. John Valentin, Tony Pena, and Ernest Riles are the scheduled hitters against Chris Bosio, who is 3 outs away from the first no-hitter of his career.
Also, no left-handed pinch hitters available for Butch Hobson tonight off the bench.
Omar Vizquel. 2 balls and no strikes to count on Vizquel. Esquith 3+, gave up 5 runs, 6 hits. Struck out 1, walked 2. Quantrill worked 2 2/3, gave up 2 runs, 3 hits. Tony Fossas 1/3 of an inning. Greg Harris worked a scoreless inning, and now Kenny Ryan. Mariners got 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd on the home run by Boone, 1 in the 4th, and then 2 more in the 6th. 7-0 over the Sox. Foul at the plate by Vizquel. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. 2-2 from Ken Ryan. Vizquel will foul it down the left field line. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sox came to Seattle on a tear following that big win on Patriots Day against the White Sox. Jumped on the Mariners the first night 5-2. Vaughn flags it down, finds the handle, finds Ryan, but Ryan is beaten to the bag by Vizquel.
Outfielder Mike Felder.
Foot race here between Vizquel and Ken Ryan, and most of the time Vizquel is going to win that race. Nice job by Vaughn to knock it down, but very close at first base. Kenny Kaiser with the safe call.
So Vizquel has his 2nd hit of the night. Felder will foul it down the left field line. 1 strike to count on Felder. Sox, after that win on Monday, were 11-3, cooled off big time by Randy Johnson last night, who shut him out for the first time in the '93 season, 5-0. Bosio's gone even better tonight. He's no-hit him through 8. 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Felder. Two and 1 now, the count on Felder. 7 runs, 11 hits tonight for the Mariners. Valentin steps on the bag. That's 1. Back to Bo Vaughn to complete the double play. So here we go to the top of the 9th inning. 7-0 Seattle.
want some money for the movies.
Sure, kid. The frosty mug taste of A&W root beer. It really brings back memories.
A quarter?
Get some popcorn, too. A&W, our frosty mug taste brings you back.
People get so emotional. It's the biggest transaction of their life. They look to you for that help, and you just have to guide them through that process.
People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Century 21, rated best at selling homes.
Before.
Make them know some days are better than others.
NESN's exclusive coverage of Boston Red Sox baseball is being brought to you in part by Toyota Value. It really is the best deal going. By the Michelob family of beers, because some days are better than others. By Fleet Bank, a member of Fleet Financial Group. We're here to make a difference. Sponsored by New Advanced Formula Mobile One. And by Cellular One, the one on top.
A lot of drama. Kingdome here in Seattle. John Valentin, Tony Pena, Ernest Riles due up against Chris Bosio, who has set down 23 Red Sox in a row. 1 ball and no strikes to Valentin. Valentin tonight has struck out and grounded to second. Counted short. To Martinez, 2 to go. Randy Johnson, of course, had the first no-hitter in Mariners history. He no-hit the Tigers a couple of years ago. He's a spectator tonight as Bosio within 2 hitters of no-hitting the Red Sox. Tony Pena, the batter. 1 strike to Pena. Pena has popped to second, grounded to third. Pena steps out, breaks Bosio's rhythm. Plate umpire Vic Voltaggio calling time. Lou Piniella. Skipper of the Mariners looks on. Pena way out in front. 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Pena. Still has life.
Pena just getting a piece of that breaking ball from Bosio. Ball going one way, back going toward that Mariner dugout. Boy, he's had a good curveball all night long, and again, throwing it from different angles.
Pitch grounded to third. Flowers with it. 1 out away. Bosio has retired 25 Boston Red Sox in order. 25 in a row, 1 out away from his first career no-hitter. One out to go. He'll have to face the left-handed hitting Ernest Riles. Riles swings and fouls it at the plate. 1 up there, a ball and a strike. The count on Ernest Riles. Pinella works over the gum in the Mariner dugout. Bosio's heart has to be pounding in his chest in the center of the diamond. 1-1 pitch. 2-1 to Riles.
Fans want all the calls right now, but you can't quite get that one.
2-1 pitch, ground ball over the middle, charged by Vizquel, bare hands and a no-hitter.
Extra mile play of the game, the last out of the game. The ground ball back up the middle, and Vizquel will barehand throw out Ernie Riles to complete the no-hitter for Chris Bosio. What a way to pick up your first win as a Seattle Mariner here at home. Mobile goes the extra mile for you.
Vizquel to Martinez to retire Riles. And Bosio wins his first game as a Seattle Mariner as he no-hits the Boston Red Sox here at the Kingdom. First time the Sox have been no-hit since the 4th of July, 1983. Dave Righetti turning the trick at Yankee Stadium in New York. We're going to try and talk to Chris Bosio. What a job he did. What a no-hitter. Red Sox shut out by Randy Johnson last night. No hit by Chris Bosio tonight. He puts those headphones on and we activate that microphone, we'll be able to find out what he was thinking. Chris, can you hear us upstairs? Bob Kurtz here, Boston TV with Jerry Remy.
Barely. How you doing?
Tremendous. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
First of all, Chris, congratulations. This is Jerry Remy talking with you. I'll tell you, the fans started to get caught up in this thing. I think about the 6th inning. When did you realize that you had a good shot at getting this thing done?
You know, to be honest with you, I've been fighting a cold all day about with 4 or 5 other guys on the team. And, you know, I just wanted to keep those guys off base because I knew they could put some damage on some guys when they got on. So, you know, I never expected this in my wildest dreams.
What's interesting is I was going to say, what's interesting is the way you started. We advertised as you never walk a hitter, and you walked the first 2 hitters of the ball game.
You know, I was really scuffling. You know, ever since first start, I've just been trying so hard to get this team going, you know, and, you know, following Randy, we got a big game yesterday, and I just wanted to come out and throw strikes, and then the game started off like that. And, you know, I took some aggression out in the clubhouse, and I tell you, this is something else.
Chris, you're the type of pitcher that works fast. You get on the mound, you throw the ball, you keep your fielders busy, and it certainly paid off tonight. A couple of great plays behind you. Vizquel at shortstop, Boone at second, and certainly Griffey in center field.
Absolutely. You know, this we got a young team, you know, and all we're saying all spring training is just keep on pushing hard. Good things will happen, and, you know, I just hope we can start playing well because we got a great bunch of guys in there with a good manager.
Well, you had a great second half to last year, winning 10 games in a row before finally losing to the Mariners the last game of the season, and you start quickly this year. Are you doing anything different here the last year or so?
No, I'm just trying to throw strikes and keep it going. You know that, Jared, former player, you just try to throw strikes and keep the game moving, keep the guys on their toes, and, that's just crazy, I tell you.
Well, look, go ahead and enjoy this moment, and thanks a lot for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Chris Bosio, no hits the Boston Red Sox tonight. Again, the first time the Sox have been hit 10 years since Rigetti did it, July the 4th of 1983 at Yankee Stadium. Tonight, Chris Bosio puts up the zeros, and the Mariners win the ball game 7-0. Stand by for Steve Burton and a special edition of Red Sox Instant Replay.
Since even a child's first steps represent enormous changes in almost every system of the body, at Harvard Community Health Plan, we offer children all the care they need, all coordinated by the doctor you choose for every system in their bodies.
That was good, baby. Let's try it again. One more time.
Harvard Community Health Plan.
Give me that smile. Give me that.
Upper Deck asked a few average card collectors whose cards they collect.
I collect Steve Young.
I collect endorsements.
I collect back doctors and surgeons.
Rings. I collect fines.
I just collect fishing lures. The musky dingbat.
Dingbat? I have a 56 powder blue Chevy. Powder blue? A Ferrari. I collect Reggie. Rolls Royce.
Reggie.
Really?
Not.
Yeah.
The smooth.
Original interior, original carpet, drives like a dream.
A thrilling night for Seattle Mariners fans as the '93 season gets its first no-hitter. Unfortunately, it comes against the Red Sox. Welcome to Red Sox Instant Replay. I'm Kim Walden. Seattle's Chris Bosio threw his first career no-no to hand the Sox their second shutout in as many days. 7-zip the final. Here's Bob Kurtz and Jerry Remy.
I don't know how much there is to recap other than, he walked the first two hitters, and after that he sort of put a rocking chair down there in the center of the diamond. You mentioned there were some plays made behind him, but really none of the spectacular variety.
None of the spectacular plays. A couple of funny plays, the one that bounced off the first baseman, and then Boone ended up making the play. That wouldn't have been a hit anyway. But Griffey made a fine play in center field. Vizquel with a couple of decent plays at shortstop. But Chris Bosio, when he's on his game, he makes the game look so easy. And he mentioned the fact that he throws strikes, he keeps people involved in the ball game. It's great to play behind a guy like that. And what a tremendous thing for him. His first win here at the Kingdome in front of the hometown crowd, and that has to be a tremendous feeling. No matter how many times you see a no-hitter, you get caught up in it. It's one of the most exciting things you can see.
You see how happy he was. He's now, of course, meeting the Seattle media. Turn it around a little bit now. Let's go across the way to the Red Sox clubhouse. They were on a roll, 11-3. Clemens won out here on Tuesday night. Since then, they've been shut out by Johnson and now shut out and no hit by Bosio.
Well, we talked about it before yesterday's game. For the next couple of nights, they're going to see some very tough pitching. Now, we saw Randy Johnson yesterday, probably at the top of his game. He didn't walk anybody. One walk in that game with his strikeouts, very tough to hit. And Bosio, you saw him at the very top of his games today. So when you get great pitching performances like that, you're not going to score many runs.
And they certainly haven't scored many runs. Shut out 5-0 here last night, 7-0 tonight. That's pretty much the story here from Seattle. Seattle wins the series 2-1. So the Sox will tee it up again tomorrow night down in Anaheim against the Angels. They'll have left-hander Frank Viola on the hill.
When we come back, we'll see the highlights from this one at the Kingdome. That plus we'll have the rest of the sports news, highlights, and scores right after this. There was little secret as to what was at stake for the Bruins last night in Buffalo. With a loss, they would be down 3-zip to the Sabres in their best-of-7 Adams Division semifinal. But a win would keep alive the chance of a big comeback. With that on the line, Coach Brian Sutter went out on a limb when he named his starting netminder for Game 3. Amy Stone has a story.
Brian Sutter starts John Blue for the Bruins. They go down by 2 men in the early minutes, and the Sabres cash in on their power play as Alexander Mogilny takes Pat LaFontaine's beautiful pass and puts it in the open net. 1-0 Sabres. Yuri Hemlev breaks in on Blue, beats him on backhand. 2-0 Buffalo. Now watch Grant Fuhr. He snatches this Cam Neely shot with the glove. The Sabres have 2 in the box, and the Bees get on the board as Ray Bork blasts this one past the fallen Fuhr. 2-1 Sabres. With the Sabres leading 3-2, the Bruins storm back.
Oates for Neely. Neely slides, breaking in, shot, scores! Cam Neely, a blistering wrist shot, break.
And so we go to overtime, where Ray Bork is in the bin, and the Sabres make no mistake on the power play.
And it's one for Howardchuk. Sawx, kick out, save by Blue. Right. And they score! Himmelef knocked it in on the rebound, and Buffalo wins 4-3.
4-3 the final. The Sabres lead the series 3-0 and have a chance to wrap it all up on Saturday at home.
In the other Adams Division semifinal, the Canadians also found themselves 2 games down, and they had to take extra time to decide it. The Habs and Nordiques went to overtime too, and it looked like the Canadians had the game winner here, but the referee rightfully ruled that Stefan Lebeau's stick was over the shoulder and disallowed the score. But Vincent Damphousse makes it academic.
Cleared in, Damphousse, nice move, shooting right on, they score! And Hextall's wild again. Hextall going after McCrary big time.
It's a power play goal at 10:30 of the extra period, and the Habs tighten the series at 2-1. Washington was less than a minute from victory when Pierre Turgeon takes a nice feed from Steve Thomas and finds the back of the net to send another one to overtime. And that's where Ray Ferraro completed the comeback for the Isles as he puts on the pretty feed in front, and the celebration is on as New York takes its second straight overtime win, and they take the 2-1 series lead. The Devils had the lead over the Penguins heading into the third when Pittsburgh rallied, led by, guess who, Mario Lemieux. This tally tied the score at 2. Then defenseman Peter Taglianetti slaps one from the point, and somehow it finds its way into the net for the go-ahead goal. The two teams would trade scores for the final as the Stanley Cup champs take a commanding 3-0 lead in the Patrick Division semifinal. After being shut down by Randy Johnson in a 5-0 loss on Wednesday, the Sawx were looking to bounce back last night against Chris Bosio. Instead, Bosio had a night he will never forget. Here's Steve Burton with the story.
Joe Hesketh would get the start on the mound for the Sawx. The M's would waste no time scoring early. In the second, Mike Flowers nails this RBI single to center off Hesketh. That scores Brett Boone to make it 1-0 Seattle. The Mariners would add another in the second. In the third, one on, and Mr. Boone goes boom.
Swings away, hits it to left field pretty deep. Back goes Greenwell on the warning track. Looks up, reaches up, and I believe it's gone. A home run for Boone. Greenwell went back.
It is gone. 4-0 Seattle. The story of the night was Mariners pitcher Chris Bosio. He retires 26 batters in a row on his way to a no-hitter. You knew it wasn't the Sawx night when Mo Vaughn rips this ball up the first base line. It ricochets off Martinez, but Boone is there for the putout. 3-4-1. 7-0 Seattle. We go to the ninth. With 2 outs, Bosio's no-hitter is on the line.
2-1 pitch, ground ball over the middle. Charged by Vizquel, barehanded, a no-hitter.
Chris Bosio's first no-hitter of his career, and the Mariners win it in dramatic fashion, 7-0 over the Sawx. NESN's next Red Sox telecast will be tomorrow night at 10 when the Red Sox take on the California Angels. Red Sox Digest will start things off at 9:30.